Hey everyone, we all know how difficult it can be to study and stay organized. But don't worry, today I've got some tips and suggestions that will make your life easier and better. And those two often go hand in hand, don't they? First, we'll start off with some general guidelines on how to stay organized, but then we'll move into some tips and suggestions for staying organized within note-taking. Both are super important, and we're going to get started right now. Staying organized is as difficult as it is important when trying to study for something. In today's world, there are dozens of people and responsibilities constantly competing for our attention. So here are some tips to help you keep track of it all so that you can study better when the time comes. First, create a routine. Settling into a regular study habit can be the most helpful thing to succeeding in your educational endeavors. Florida Atlantic University encourages its students to have specific hours set aside each day in order to help maintain the systematic organization of your schedule and keep you actively involved in studying. Some educational experts recommend 4 to 5 hours of studying per day for your most important topics. Don't wait until test time to start studying. Create a ritual of habits that will lead you to success. Secondly, use a calendar. If you don't know what your week looks like, you're more likely to be sidetracked by something unrelated to studying. Using a calendar will also help you find free time that you can allocate towards something productive. When scheduling study time throughout the week, University of Michigan encourages its students to ask themselves, what works for me? What needs to change? What distracts me? These are great questions that you can ask yourself when creating your weekly and monthly calendar. Thirdly, set aside some time to do reviews at the end of every day and every week. Even 15 to 20 minutes at the end of the day can help solidify memories prior to sleeping. Simply review the notes you took and new concepts you learned. Read them out loud for an added emphasis. At the end of the week, set aside an hour to review all your notes and any upcoming assignments. This helps you prepare for the next week while reinforcing content in your memory. Fourthly, set up goals and rewards for yourself. Knowing you are just a little bit away from achieving a milestone can help keep you motivated and on track. Texas A&M encourages students to set goals for all aspects of their lives, such as areas of personal growth, physical fitness, relationships, etc. Whether your rewards are big or small, physical or intangible, you will find that your ability to focus and remain motivated will be highly improved using this system. Lastly, your environment can be as influential on your study time as anything else. All experts agree that you need to take extra care in choosing a place that will minimize distractions, interruptions, and inconvenience. Find some place that is easy to get to and allows you to remain there for the amount of time you have allotted yourself. Ultimately, you have to be honest with yourself about what is best for your concentration. Your environment can impact your emotional, mental, and physical state, so studying in bed, a busy public place, or a friend's house may be more of a hindrance than a help. As realtors always say, location, location, location. So remember, keep yourself scheduled, stick to your routine, and manage your location well. When it comes to good study habits, the first and arguably most important is taking good notes. If you're in class, take notes. If you're not in class, usually you can still take notes from your source material. But before we go ahead and start talking about specific methods of note-taking, let's go over a few very obvious yet easily forgettable strategies when taking notes. First, come to class prepared. This may seem simple enough, but successful note-taking begins with preparation before class. Showing up to class having completed the assignments with a note-taking system, whether it consists of a computer, tablet, or regular paper and highlighters, is important. Second, focus on the meat of the subject, not the trimmings. The purpose of note-taking is usually not to write a full manuscript of the lesson or content. Instead of writing down every single example or sidetracked thought, stick to the main points and make sure you fully understand those before noting anything else. Lastly, pay attention to your notes. Probably more than any of us would like to admit, we can sometimes zone out while writing notes, but it is very important to think critically about the notes that you are taking. It is even better to absorb the material, reword it into your own words, and write down the note once you have analyzed the concept. Alright, now on to some actual methods for taking notes. The first that we're going to cover is the Cornell system of note-taking. This system involves 5 steps. First, divide your paper up into 4 quadrants. At the top, you have just enough space for the course name, your name, the date, and any other relevant information about these notes. Next, you're going to have a line down the paper, dividing it into 1/4 and 3/4 of the page, like this. And next, you're going to go ahead and leave a section at the bottom here for your summarization afterwards. As you take notes during class or during your reading, go ahead and put them in this large section of the page here. After class or after you've finished reading your assignment, go ahead and boil down these notes into the main points, which you're going to place over here. As you review at the end of the day, put your key points into a summarization down here at the bottom. Now when you go to review your notes at the end of the week or before a test, you have an easy to digest summary in your own words. You can go back for more details in the key points section, or if you need a really broad view of the entire lecture, then you can go ahead and hit the larger section of your notes with more details. Once you have your notes or material which you need to learn, you can reformat the content into flashcards, which have one concept, word, definition, or fact on one side, and then a corresponding concept, word, or definition on the other. Remember, not all exams consist of one-to-one connections, so using flashcards can limit you a bit. That being said, they are especially good for memorizing specific details. Thanks for watching, and happy studying.